me, Katie, and this is Kim, and we're going to be talking about our books. So I'll go ahead and start with mine. Mine is called Legom, and it's by Nikki Brandmark.
Very nice. All right, and I have The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo.
So I'm going to go ahead and start off by talking about my book, Legom. So our books are both nonfiction books, and I guess you could say they're lifestyle.
Probably just changing lifestyles. Some people want to put them in organization, but I don't really think that it's about organizing. I think it's about kind of, maybe not soul searching, but life changing.
Yeah. So
that's good.
Maybe self-help if
Yes.
you like to clean and decorate and stuff like
Exactly.
that. So I have, it's called The Swedish Art of Living a Balanced, Happy Life. And so what this book talks about is the way you can do that is start off by simplifying. So kind of just going through your closet, your home, getting rid of everything that's not practical, that clutters, that maybe even just looks messy. If you don't use it, if you don't like it, then just get rid of it. It's all about finding balance. So you can find that by maybe keeping one or two indulgent, like cocktail dresses or something like that, but not 10 of them, or no fun clothing items whatsoever. It's about finding a happy balance, and that can be done by really just taking stock of what's going on in your mind, in your emotional state, paying attention to, I wouldn't say not necessarily what brings you joy, but what brings you peace.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, so you could say that, I know I experienced this where I have a cluttered home and it makes me not feel that great. I feel frantic. I feel like I can't get anything done. So it's kind of about finding that happy balance between work life and play. So when you go to work as hard as you can, but stop and leave it at work. And when it's 5 o'clock, you better be out the door.
Oh,
That's kind of how they live.
that's pretty nice.
Right.
And they leave work at work, right? And when
Yes,
you go home,
they don't ever
you are-
take work home. Yeah, and so this book talks about like the decorating side of it, where it's like, a mixture of recycled antique pieces and modern pieces, or lots of neutral colors, but then maybe a splash of some crazy color. So really, it's just about finding balance, and through that you can find more peace. And then they're really big on nature. And so once again, just finding the balance between spending time outside and then spending time inside. Not only that, but bringing outside indoors.
Right.
So, planting flowers and then picking those flowers, putting them on your table every day. They're big on candlelight, which I really liked that tip. They keep about like 5 candles lit every night, and it's kind of a way to bring the sunlight or the warmth in.
Oh, okay.
So-
Is it kind of like a relaxing sense? Is
Yeah,
that what it kind of?
I thought it was kind of a weird tip,
Okay.
but it really works for me.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so when I go home, I like 3 or 4 candles. You just can't forget about them.
And scents, is that a big part of it, or is it just the candlelight part of it that kind of
It's-
gives off in the room?
Yeah, it's the candlelight, but also it kind of, to me, it makes it feel special. So they talk about something in Sweden called a fika, and a fika is just a break to have coffee and a sweet treat and just talk with friends. So you wouldn't be on your phone, you wouldn't be, you get to eat a sweet treat, which some people just don't even allow for sweets in their life or anything like
Right.
that. But it's just finding the happy balance between like pleasure and work and all that sort of stuff.
That sounds very nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like something I would want to do. So.
That's pretty nice. And what about your book?
Okay, well, some may have already seen this or read it, and there's a Netflix show on it though too. But I did find that a lot of the practical stuff in there was very good. So she tells you to like gather up all of your things. So you start off with clothing, so it's not overwhelming. And for some people, if they really like clothes, it can be overwhelming. But I'm not that addicted to clothing, so. I would just say, so she would just say that, you know, put all of your clothes together, and then you sort through them. If they spark joy, if you know, feel good in them, then keep them. And if you don't, then you thank it for the time that it gave you, and you put it aside. So if it's really ratty, you donate it, or you trash it. If you can, then donate it. So it's just kind of like helping out others, that it might bring joy to someone else. So you would do that, and then once you go through all the different places in your house. So like it's clothing, then books, then paper, and then your like sentimental items, and then you do pictures and things like that. So she does have like a method as to how you do it and to why. So I think it's very interesting if you pick up the book and read it. Also with the clothing and stuff, she shows you how to fold things to make everything fit in a drawer. You only hang things like dresses, skirts, specific blouses or something. So everything else should go nice and neat into your drawers. And then I don't know, she just has a way of explaining things and stuff that kind of makes you feel like, oh, that just sounds so nice. So, you just want to have that peace in you, of like, when everything is all done, I'm going to have a super nice house. So,
yeah.
And she also goes in and explains like, like sentimental items or things that are in your house, books, you want them to spark joy. And don't throw them back into a box. You're going to want to keep them and display them. So it's really, if it sparks joy, you want to show it off,
right,
basically. But if it doesn't, then why are you keeping it around?
Right.
So it's kind of simplicity in a nice way.
Okay, yeah, it's very like structured in
Yes.
how you organize it, whereas Legom is more like whatever feels the best, whatever is going to be the right blend of, trinkets or things that you enjoy, and then cleanliness and stuff like that.
Right.
So would you think it's really practical,
I think it is. I think it's practical. I think anyone can do it. You just have to get everything together and do that. So, work on it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And they do recommend not doing it with your family. I would say that. So
Yeah, that maybe wouldn't be the most practical
yeah,
situation.
probably not. Because if you don't want to get rid of your husband's favorite T-shirt,
He's gonna
even
put up
though
a
it's
fight,
ratty
yeah.
to you, he may not want to. So you don't want to do it with family and then pass what you don't want onto them, because you're just kind of burdening that person with
Right.
the stuff you don't really want, or that you want to keep hidden.
Right.
Like, oh, maybe I'll use it later.
Yeah.
So don't do that. So that's pretty much what she recommends. So what about yours? Is yours pretty practical?
I would say maybe not as much as yours, because whereas the KonMari method has such a structured way and allow yourself to feel joy, I feel like Legom is more of like an aesthetic lifestyle change.
Mm-hmm.
So it does focus heavily on like the aesthetics, like the combination of nature and modern and antique and all that sort of stuff. But not everyone has the time or money to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say yours is more practical than mine. but it's nice. It's
They're
idealistic.
just different. Yeah, they're just different. And I would think that like with mine, if you have like a lot of stuff, it's one way to kind of get through everything, whereas yours is more like, it's kind of like a lifestyle, like you said, to where, you bring in nature, it's very simplified. It reminds me of somebody who might move into a tiny home.
Right, like my
That's
ideal
what I'm
cottage
thinking of.
life
Right.
would be
Right.
this book. Yeah. So yours sounds like yours is pretty accessible to most people, because I feel like, you know, everyone can learn how to fold. Everyone can take inventory of what they have.
Right. Yes, and she does talk about that, and she teaches you specifically how to fold things, and you know, just how to put some of the things into practical use, I guess. So what about yours? Do you think yours is pretty accessible?
No. like I said, you know, not everyone has the time, or there are some people, you know, the fact is America isn't Sweden, you know.
Right.
There are some people that have to work 2 full-time jobs or have to go to school and just don't have, like I said, the time or money to do that. But it's something to aspire for, and I don't know, like I said, you can take little things. Like for me, the candles and the little coffee break was something that gives you a chance to be mindful.
Yes. That is good. Yeah, I have noticed, like, whenever I look at my bookshelves, I'm like, do I really need all of that up there? What can I get rid of?
Right.
You know, I do think about it a lot more, and
So
you know,
do you still practice it?
sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I'm not great.
We're not all perfect.
You know, so I do think it helped me out with all my clothes, you know, and don't keep things if they don't fit, you know,
Right.
or if they're been out of style for,
Don't
you
hold
know,
on to that
a
swimsuit
decade
that
or
you've
two.
had for 5 years because you think you're going to lose weight.
Yeah. Yeah, or don't keep your fat clothes thinking, this reminds me.
Just
No,
of
be happy with
what-
where you're at now. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, so just move on.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. So,
Right.
so do you think yours is gonna stick?
Yeah, I think so. Just trying to take time to maybe balance, like I said, like getting out in nature and stuff. I'd really like to do that. And what I've been doing is, I said the candles and the coffee breaks have stuck with me, but trying to make my own things,
Right.
and not just go out to Target or Home Goods or whatever to find the cheapest piece of furniture. Maybe to look around and find something that I can upcycle,
Right.
or something like, maybe, I don't know, getting handy and learning to make my own coffee bar.
Mm-hmm.
But
That'd be
yeah, I
good.
think it's something to, I'm working on it.
Right.
I'm moving in that
Everything
direction.
is progress, in my opinion. If you're working towards something, it's progress.
Right.
You know, so,
Yeah.
well, that's good. Well, good.
So,
All right. Well, I wanted to also talk about, there are other books in the library. I was reading on New Minimalism, and it kind of, it's along the line of yours.
okay.
It's a little bit about simplifying. It does talk more about organization and getting rid of things, but also, you know, just kind of more about decor, actually. So, you know, how you can minimalize things and then make it look pretty.
Right.
So,
So mine is kind of, I think mine would actually be, whereas yours is more similar to my choice, I feel like mine is more similar to your choice. It's called Hygge, and it's the Danish art of happiness. So another Scandinavian culture that knows about happiness, I guess. But it kind of talks about surrounding yourself with things that make you happy.
Mhm.
So that's gonna be like plush pillows and shag rugs and everything cozy, drinking warm drinks all the time. So just kind of like
sounds good.
indulging
Right.
in simple pleasures really is a big part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can find all these books and more in our libraries, and they are all in the nonfiction section.
Yes.
So just come and check them out anytime you like.
Yeah, and be sure to check our online resources as well. Libby and then Hoopla, they should have at least this KonMari book. And